Hello and welcome to the Film Freakz podcast, the podcast all about movies. Each episode is centered around a single movie, but we talk about other ones in the mix. But first, I need to invite you, the listener, to join the fan recommendations. If you have a recommendation for a film that you want us to watch, every 4 episodes, we have a vote. And yeah, the newest stuff usually comes up first. So if you want to send us an email at ff.filmfreaks with a Z at the end at gmail.com, or comment in the ferret Discord, my Discord, in the movie stuff section. You can recommend a movie there, or if you're on the podcast like a certain someone, you can also recommend a movie while you're here talking to us. Or the easiest thing is to comment on the latest episode on YouTube, Spotify, etc. We always welcome in new recommendations. But today's episode is a special one because this is the fan recommended movie, and we do have a guest with us today. But I am Yemmy the Ferret. I'm here with
Secret Agent Callus.
And also returning for the second time on the show, it's the man, the myth, the masked Player2.
Hello. You've just entered the P2 zone.
Oh,
We've entered.
I love it.
We've entered the triple P.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it has quite the same ring as it, but
The return of Pender Page.
Yeah. Oh God. I didn't think it could get worse, but
To regular listeners of the show, we're missing 2 people today. Tay is asleep, and Ray is busy planning a wedding. So we said, you know what? This movie, it's for the boys, okay? We're the boys here. This movie is the boys' movie. No girls allowed. No Taymation Studios allowed for whatever reason. Okay, this is just the boys episode.
Are you calling Tay a girl?
I'm just saying, haters of this movie, walk out the door. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, let's get started. P2, you picked a movie for us to watch.
Did.
What'd you get? What'd you do to this?
Believe it or not, I did a little bit of checking beforehand because this is my 3rd time on this fantastic podcast, good sir. Having recommended The Good, the Bad, the Weird, and Parasite previously. And it's coming up on nearly 2 years since I was last on this wonderful project. So first of all, congratulations to you and the team for this longevity of your podcast. It's fantastic. But in that time, 2 years ago, I'll be honest, I prepared so much for the an analysis and everything of Parasite that I didn't even think of a film recommendation at the time, and I panicked. And I wouldn't say that I'm someone who is a massive film fan. Everything I've recommended is from the early 2000s. That hasn't changed, so I panicked and said XXX, the classic XXX. So yeah, it's a brilliant film. In inverted commas with an asterisk attached to it. Created in 2002, directed by Rob Cohen, and has an incredible cast being carried by a very young Vin Diesel and an even younger Samuel L. Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
So as if you needed a little bit of a hook, to get your kind of taste buds tantalized, you've already got that there. But situation that we've got, Yemmy and Callus, is if you've got an organization trying to take over the world and your secret agents just can't get the job done, what do? Of course, you go to a stunt man,
a live streamer.
Course. A live streamer, a person who's normally untouchable by the law, and then there's only one way that they can get him hooked in, and that's to send him into this world of crime where he has absolutely zero training, zero understanding, zero knowledge, but because he's a tried and tested guy in the real world, inverted commas, this somehow is the best fit. So yeah, absolutely incredible movie. And like I was saying to Yemmy, having the thrill, the joy, the pleasure of rewatching this, probably about 10 to 15 years ago, forgetting how Interesting and phenomenal the film is in equal measure.
Wow. Okay.
So, for those who are uninitiated, it's basically a bit of a plot where there is a classic good guy v bad guy situation. Imagine in kind of modern speak, you order, I don't know, James Bond off of Temu, then you would get Xander Cage. Everything is wonderfully kind of like cliched and everything, so it's got everything.
It's so funny how like hard they're like trying to create an American James Bond.
Yes. Yeah.
James Bond isn't
my
cool
days.
enough. We need Queens of the Stone Age playing in the background. Okay, come on.
Right?
And
also James Bond isn't misogynistic enough. We need more of that.
Yeah, we need more. Can we have more of that actual like? Yeah, it was one of those things of where like when you kind of watch something back after it's been quite a long time, you go, "Oh my god, how did this fly?" I'm more amazed at like some of the things that were said that were obviously more than okay at the time? Question mark. But
I feel like early 2000s. Yeah, a lot of there's a lot of that going around.
Yeah. So obviously, I've seen it before. So Callus and Yemmy, you've seen it before? Question mark.
Nope.
I have, but it's probably like 20 years. So yeah, there's a lot, obviously, that I do not remember of this movie. But there's some that I did remember.
Yeah,
I think so. Yemmy, from your point of view, then what was your thoughts? What did you think of this classic?
Boy, howdy. Do you want my honest and unadulterated thoughts or unedited thoughts?
Of course.
I want your unhinged opinion.
This was ass with a capital second S. Okay. Like lowercase a, capital S, lowercase s. Okay.
Oh, just like the title, I see.
Just like the title, yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible, yeah.
And I really love saying this after P2 just poured his heart out about the movie.
Oh no! But then you got to remember though that like you're seeing it fresh in 2025. I saw this when I was like a teenager, and like you've got like the Rammstein is the thing kicking the thing off.
Fuck yes.
Like you have like Tony Hawk is in there, Drowning Pool.
Matt Hoffman, let's go.
Matt Hoffman
can't act for shit.
Like you've got like Danny Trejo's got like a little piece in there. Like in terms of like you kind of like if you had like a checklist of what makes an action film from the early 2000s good, they hit everything. Like bizarre CGI, unnecessary action films. Clearly, like it wouldn't work in any realm of real life. Yet for some reason, it's a 2002 piece of work. It's like ridiculous. I don't disagree. Yeah, exactly. I don't disagree that it is in complete horseshit movie. Right? I am in no, like, I'm not defending it by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that if you were to talk to anybody about this movie, if they've legitimately seen it, you are laughing about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was laughing all the way through. It started off kind of strong with that Rammstein section. Mm-hmm. Because it's Rammstein and they're doing like a concert. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Fuck yes.
Yeah, a random concert inside of like a church-looking building.
Yeah.
Well, you should see some of the venues that you can go to, Cals.
All right.
But yeah, I think for me, it was more of like, you could almost say that it's a parody of like a thriller, of like a superhero, like secret agent movie.
I guess, but they're taking it way too seriously.
Oh, no, I mean, I tell you that as well.
Well, you say parody, but I mean, the Pierce Brosnan James Bond movies from that same era were like pretty much exactly the same, with like just cheesy, over the top, just like nonsensical action.
I just like recapturing all the things. So like, I wrote down some notes. I just love the fact that like, even when it comes to like, your hero, he's got like that kind of like edgy name. It couldn't just be Phil Jones. Yeah, he's the main character. It's got to be Xander Cage, And then like the bad guys are called Anarchy 99, and it's like, I wonder what they're about, Like there's no kind of like looking at it like,
there's no subtlety.
The whole concept. No, you don't need to think. There's no layers here. There's no. This is a deeper meaning. Is everything
Although
on
they-
the surface?
They did try to explain the meaning of Anarchy 99 though.
I mean, anyone with half a brainstem would go, okay, they probably were created in '99. It's a 2002 movie. Like, it's also anarchy. What do you want to do? I want to create anarchy. Well, okay, then, makes a lot of sense. And also, I just note one of the other things I noted down was, the fact that like when you're seeing your stunt double look nothing like your main actor. Especially on the kind of moped, like the dirt bike scenes.
Hold on.
It was just wonderful.
I know you misspoke there, but Vin Diesel riding a moped through that scene would have been absolute, absolute cinema. Going through the cocaine fields on a moped.
yeah, exactly.
I felt like the first like hour of this movie was just nonsensical at times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you have the scene at the Rammstein concert, then you're in the headquarters, and then they're trying. Got Vin Diesel jumping a car off of a bridge, and then he gets like captured in the party, gets tranquilized. He wakes up in the diner, then he wakes up in the plane. They go to the cocaine farm. And it's like,
and he wakes up inside the bar.
And throughout that whole time, you're getting like 15 close-ups of the XXX tattoo on the back of his neck, just to remind you like what movie you're watching, like just in case you flip the channel for whatever reason. Like,
you're like, what am I watching again? Oh yeah,
fucking XXX. Yeah,
that's the one thing they didn't explain, like where that tattoo came from and why he's got it.
Because his friends call him X, but why is there 3 X's, Callus? I cannot tell you.
Right.
I don't think he could tell you. That's the greatest thing about it.
He was like, "It look cool."
Oh, actually, I just remembered. He's technically on his 3rd strike. As well, and that's how he kind of gets roped into this. And it's like,
that's what I thought his backstory was going to be like. Oh, like he in his past he got 3 strikes from something, so like he made it part of his identity. But nope. Samuel Jackson.
It's so funny because you go like, what, as if this character has a backstory. Like if we like really want to break it down, this guy steals a senator's car, crashes it off a bridge, films the entire thing. So it's not like he couldn't go, it wasn't me. They clearly know where he lives. How he's not in jail, I don't really know. But also it's just like all the kind of the whole
He's
kind of
untouchable.
facade. How?
I don't know. He just said he's untouchable, so therefore
he said it. He spoke it into his existence.
I just love the fact that like, so I did obviously a bit of ratings on these things. Comes out as a solid 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb. But for me, the comments are gold. And like, I'm only going to give you the titles just to kind of give you like the true synopsis of this film, which is turn off your brain and you'll enjoy the movie. Not exactly smart, but funny. And then the last one goes, why is Vin Diesel a star?
I was wondering that too throughout this movie. And I think it's simply because he's a tough guy with big muscles, and that's what the cinema universe needed at the time for Fast and Furious, for XXX, for
wonderful.
He's easy on the eyes and he has a good voice.
Yeah. You've kind of hit the nail on the head. That's all it takes to be an action movie star in the early 2000s.
But the thing is, like, I know that Vin Diesel can act because he did a good job in Pitch Black, and he does a great job in Chronicles of Riddick. So, like, what happened with this movie? I don't.
Yemmy, you didn't mention the Fast and Furious movies.
Family.
I already mentioned Fast and the Furious. Callus, you're gonna love what I'm about to say.
Uh-oh.
I would rather watch any of the Fast and Furious movies over this again. I will be quite honest.
Whoa.
I do like the fact as well that in like all of the films that Vin Diesel's been in, which is probably like 100, I guess.
A lot.
You could mention like 3 that he's done well in.
Well, okay, I'll give you one more. Guardians of the Galaxy when he's playing as Groot.
Okay, when we can't see him and it doesn't sound like him too.
Well,
okay.
Let me just say it's one word. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I'll give him a small snippet of respect for Groot.
Okay, yeah, I grouped it like with asterisks on it. Yeah, sure.
Did you guys notice that Vin Diesel doesn't know how to kiss in this movie?
Yes, I'm really glad you brought this up because it was painful to watch.
Yeah. I don't
Like
know what the heck
really,
he's
really
doing.
difficult to watch.
Like, I have seen a lot of makeout scenes in movies, and this was the most bizarre and unsettling.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I just don't know what they're doing. Like, he has his mouth completely wide open, and then he has like his lips
Oh.
curled. I don't know
Why are
what's
you making
going
me
on.
relive this?
Wow, I did not notice any of this. I must have been checking my phone.
I think you've just saved yourself. Don't go back. Whatever you do, don't
Go back. It'll scar you for life.
don't do it. Yeah, legitimately though, I think the plot is not completely horrendous.
I disagree.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's a complete train wreck.
I disagree.
It's a national disaster, but I wouldn't say that it's like a global one. You
Okay.
know?
All right. I'll agree with that.
Okay. We have come to a compromise.
I just love how. Do you know what it feels like? So, me and some of my friends were starting to play Cyberpunk, like the role playing game version.
Oh, okay.
And when it comes to like creating characters, I usually go down the pun route, right? Naturally, like I can't help myself.
Nice.
Like that's the way I go down, right? And when I was kind of like creating my character, and then I watched this, and I was like, oh my god, I write as if I'm, in like I don't know what grade, what are the grades for you? Like grade 12, like English class, of where I think what I'm writing is like phenomenal. And then like as an adult, you kind of look back on, you go, oh my god, everything's so bad. Like so bad. Like for example, like the chemical weapon is called Silent Night because everyone will die and they'll be quiet. Like I bet when they wrote that, they were like, "Oh my god, we've smashed this, boys! Like we've absolutely nailed this. Like we're gonna be heralded as like phenomenal writers."
Why did they
And
call
then-
the machine Ahab? By the way,
I don't know.
it should have
Unless
been
it's like an
it should have
acronym,
been the white whale, not Ahab, for starters. Ahab. Yeah, I mean the white whale wins in the end. I mean, if it's spoilers for Moby Dick. I'm sorry. Okay, they should have called it Moby or white whale or something. Like, why call it Ahab dies? Like,
yeah,
he gets
yeah.
defeated.
I don't know.
I mean, phenomenal.
But back in the day, like you're saying, going off your point, like they were probably like, oh, Ahab, yeah, whale hunter, fucking badass. Yeah. Put 3 X's on the back of his neck. That's cool.
Yeah. And when he gets tranquilized, just be like, make a sarcastic comment like, it was only a Corvette. What's the whole need for this?
Okay, I will say I laughed at that line. I will say that.
Okay, there was two lines I laughed at. One of them was that one. It was only a Corvette. And the second one was, I told him smoking would kill him.
Oh my god, when it comes back around. I think the other thing, like, so there's a few times where like a comment was made by another character, and then it kind of has like this. I nearly said reach around, like.
Hey, that's a perfect name.
Triple X, P2, Triple X.
Okay, where like a character will make a comment, and then there will be a reach around later on in the film where it kind of like comes back around for it. And I think the other one is when Samuel L. Jackson's character called Gibbons, I think.
Just call him Nick Fury.
Yeah, Nick Fury's in it,
yeah.
and he's got like a scarred face as well. And he's like, the things I did for my country, right? Like, it's a small price to pay for putting foot to ass for my country. And I was just like, oh my god, wonderful, by the way. But then also, there's a scene later on where he's trying to, get involved with the gang a little bit more, and part of those things are like almost like initiations, right? So a big party, he then goes to his room, and there is essentially a prostitute gyrating on the four-poster bed, right? And as she's kind of like beckoning him to the bed, he's like, the things I do for my country. And you're like, no! That reach around's coming back around, baby.
I like the reach around is coming back around. That should be the quote for this podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Triple X, the reach around. Oh no, I'm watching the wrong film.
Oh, that should have been the tagline for the sequel.
Oh Christ! Oh my God! Yeah. So I think it was one of those things of where like
Isn't the tagline for the sequel like Xander's Cage Returns or something like that? Something
The
stupid.
Return of Sandra Cage.
Ah, yes.
phenomenal.
But there was a middle movie that was like sort of like a spin-off, except it was Ice Cube that was the lead.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
that sounds good.
Why are you lying to yourself?
Why are you
I've
lying?
I've seen both of those, but I really don't remember anything about them, so I couldn't tell you if they were good or bad.
That probably says more about the movies than you could ever say in a paragraph.
Actually, the one thing I remember is from XXX, The Return of Sandra Cage, is that Ice Cube does have a cameo. He comes in and like saves him out of nowhere.
Damn, he comes
That's the one
in.
memorable scene.
He comes in around the reach around.
Yes, he comes.
Speaking of reach around, do we not remember how the film ends? Before the Gavin Rossdale track comes in, by the way. So in terms of like the soundtrack for this film was actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean the soundtrack was what gave it 1 star in my opinion.
So I don't even know if we've done like an overview. So basically, like there's an evil gang called Anarchy 99, and their job is to try and kind of avenge their fallen comrades when they were in the Russian army. Of course, it's Russia v America.
Yeah.
Like it could not be, right?
Right. Of course.
Xander Cage is then sent in as kind of like this rogue kind of agent, literally, as 3 of the kind of almost governmental agents have all been shot. Even though in the opening kind of credits, you go, if that's a secret agent who's running through a crowd and then gets up on the stage of a Rammstein concert, holding up the thing he's just stolen, like he deserves to die.
He's
like,
also in a full suit. A suit
in
in the Rammstein concert.
Yeah, he's got like a tuxedo on, and everyone else is like drugged out of their minds, and he's like, "I'll fit in here."
My name is Bond, Shart Bond. Yes.
And of course, he goes up on the stage where like he's
incredible,
literally the most visible place possible.
Yeah, and then
I do love how
in the middle of the crowd.
Yeah, I love how he gets shot and then he crowd surfs his death.
I'll be honest, that is funny.
That was cinema.
Funny.
That was cinema.
So obviously then we introduced to Xander Cage, who's Vin Diesel's character, and he's kind of like this bad boy, the law can't touch me, I do what I want type of dude. Friends with, like I said, Tony Hawk and Matt Hoffman.
Matt Hoffman, let's go.
Sure.
And a bunch of other like extreme sports peoples too.
Yeah. Who
let me ask this before you continue, P2. What do we think of his tattoos?
They are horrendous.
Thank you. They are so bad.
Yeah, they are like painfully bad.
As 2 people with multiple tattoos,
yes,
they were bad tattoos.
Yes, they're really bad. But I think it kind of, like I said, if we're filling in with everything was horrendously cliched, right? So if he's like this bad guy, biker, sports guy, like everyone's covered in tattoos, and all the good guys don't have any tattoos because that's how we tell each other apart.
Yes.
So yeah, then he's tranquilized by a SWAT team and wakes up in a diner where he quickly, weirdly, able to suss out that it can't be legitimate because everyone knows that a guy reading the Financial Times can't do that on a Sunday. Everyone knows that, like, if you work in a diner, you wouldn't wear high heels because you'd have blisters the size of pancakes before lunch. And, like, there's a lot of things where he's like, it's just bad. It is just bad, But anyway, so he passes the test, the Gibbons test, right? And then he's sent to like an actual fucking mission where they could have all died. Let's be honest.
They should have all died, honestly.
They should have. And we have Danny Trejo, El Jefe, the boss, comes in.
El Jefe.
And they all think that it's like a prank, like is another diner.
Yeah, I will say that the Danny Trejo section was my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, it was so bad. Because my question is, right, and this is what always bugs me with these kind of films, and we'll come on to it a little bit further on as well, is, like, I've been to the Czech Republic. Nobody likes to speak English there. Well, right?
Yeah, everyone.
One American goes there, and some Russian guys go there, and everyone talks English.
Right.
Brother, come on! Like, well, we go to Colombia on a cocaine plant, and Danny Trejo's like, "Funny guy," and it's like, no, you know, they wouldn't be able to understand you. So yeah, they somehow get out of that, and a guy that looks inverted commas, like Vin Diesel, is able to escape on a dirt bike.
Well, he doesn't really escape, right? So the one thing about this scene
Yeah,
that
true,
really
yeah.
annoyed me throughout the whole thing was he seems to be driving in circles. Like the guy he's trying to like save, quote unquote, is hurt in the bushes, right? And he leaves him there, and he literally walks like 5 steps, gets a dirt bike, and then drives around the entire compound to get back to him. And I was like,
he even like does a huge jump out of the compound,
Right.
and then comes back in.
yeah, it's so ridiculously dumb, and everything's exploding for no reason.
Yeah. Why would a random bomb just blow up?
And I'm like,
Because it looks cool.
damn, like he could have literally just like drove the dirt bike 2 inches back to the dude in the bushes. It's also funny how they keep showing him in the bushes, like in the same spot, and Vin Diesel is like looking at him, and it's like, are you driving past him like multiple times? Like, what are we doing?
And can we also do the thing of when he finally goes to save him? There's somehow loads of camouflaged guys just there.
Yeah, they're just the guy
Appear
shot
there
around
everywhere.
all those bushes and didn't kill a single one of them.
Nobody dies. And then one of them just steals cocaine and runs away.
Oh yeah, and he's never seen again.
Never seen. Incredible. So yeah, he's then sent on a mission into the Czech Republic to try and get into this organization of Anarchy 99, and it's kind of like built on the thing of the classic stereotypes, isn't it? Of where like we've got the main kind of broody leader, we got the big henchman as the things, we got like the mysterious, and then there's always the one girl who's not even the most attractive one in the entire movie is somehow the girl that everybody wants, right? I've never understood that in my life. And then so there's all this kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, but hold on. The thing that I don't understand
Callus is a
even
big
more.
waifu guy, okay? Callus is about to prove you wrong, P2.
Okay.
Oh no. I'm just gonna talk about something different. The thing that it's even more that I don't understand is why is this Russian guy that's trying to take over the world and has this plot going on, why would he stop that to sell 10 cars to this random guy that just shows up? Why is he in the car selling business?
Yeah.
That's a good
It
question.
kind of makes sense because one of the guys recognizes him, right, as being like the stunt guy, and then is like, it makes perfect sense how a random stunt guy from America would fly all the way to the Czech Republic to find us to get 10 cars. Yes.
Hey, look,
There's nothing suspicious.
Live streamers have gone to like the Philippines and stuff like that just to cause trouble. I mean, you know,
That's true.
20 years ago, it could be possible that
Okay.
that's the thing we kind of glossed over though. Like Vin Diesel is essentially a live streamer in this movie.
He's
started
essentially ISO speed of 2002.
It's ahead of his time.
Yeah, like they strap like 5 cameras to the car, and he's giving a monologue to the he's like getting different angles of like monologuing, and then they upload it to like the internet or something for everyone to see, and they have like that big party, and like. Yeah, I think Callus, you are kind of right. Like, it is ahead of its time. Like, live streaming was definitely not a thing in this era, and it has that vibe.
I don't know that it
of
was
Vin Diesel, like
live.
Like, thank you for the bits.
I was going to say,
Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the
he's
sub.
just driving a Corvette and he's like, 12 months, thank you for being a subscriber of the Xander Nation. I'm about to crash this car, BRB.
Hold on, guys. Got to go to lurk mode while I parachute out of here.
Incredible.
Would this, guys, would this be under just chatting or?
It'd be IRL stream,
go
surely.
Yes, everyone go to twitch.tv/the Xander Zone.
Yeah, xx. It'd be like xx underscore Xander Cage underscore xxx.
Yeah, one capital X, one lowercase x.
Right.
Yes.
Like a proper like Xbox clan tag.
Let's fucking go. Yeah.
Yes.
Triple X was already taken, so I just went with the next best thing.
Oh, wonderful. And then he would call his stream the Xander Zone, right?
Right.
Because then anyone who joined the stream would have joined the Xander Zone.
It's funny because he also references like first-person shooters in video games multiple times throughout the movie too.
Yeah, and there's also the character that says you deserve your own video game.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, at the party as well.
We're in the wrong timeline. We don't have the XXX video game. That's crazy.
Oh my god,
dude! Yes.
Let's start a petition to get it, and it's called the Reach Around.
Yes.
Yes, that's the other thing too. Like this watching this movie made me want to play like extreme sports games. Like I want
Because aren't they playing like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on the game, like on the TV as well?
I didn't see that,
yeah,
but I did
see.
notice. I did notice one of the Russians was playing Kinetica on PS2, which is like a crazy racing game where people use their
Incredible.
whole bodies to ride with.
Oh my days, incredible.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
this
so
is also like the
somehow
era of like
he's
movie
kinda-
tie-in
yeah.
video games too. So it's how did this not get a tie-in video game? You got
It
tie-in
was
video
works.
games for Mission Impossible, 007, blah blah blah. Like what happened to the XXX?
You know, I was gonna type in XXX game, but then I
Callous.
had second thoughts before I pressed enter.
Careful now.
Yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to kind of mention in terms of the reach around phrase tags that we have.
Yes.
Is linked to the kind of like classic one-liners that we have, similar to the "It was only a Corvette," which is when they're on holiday in Bora Bora at the end, and Gibbons is trying to get a hold of him for another secret mission, and just prior to that, they obviously start making out, and he says to Gibbons, "Sorry, something else just came up."
Oh, bow bow chicka wow wow.
And it's just like wonderful. So hitting all of those markers, like legitimately, if there was like a checklist to see what makes a good action movie, it's got it all there. In terms of like the overall quality, it's not there.
Look, in terms of quality, if this was actually a porno film and there was sex scenes laced throughout it, it'd probably be one of the greatest porn movies of all time. Can we all be honest here? But because it's a serious movie made on a like $15 million budget or whatever, yeah, it's
incredible.
bad.
Absolutely incredible.
But just lace in a couple of Vin Diesel sex scenes in there. There you go. It's now the
it's
greatest
technically,
porn
like,
ever made.
implied ones, right?
Yeah, but like, who's gonna jerk off to implied sex scenes?
I mean,
There's people out there probably.
there's got to be someone. If that's you, if you jerk off to implied sex scenes, leave a comment down below.
Yes, please. Greedy
Leave a comment down
waffles.
below and
Greedy waffles.
we'll
Let
get
us know.
Oh my days.
Wait, I got some breaking news here.
Uh-oh.
There was a XXX video game
Really?
What?
for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Can we put it on the Yemmy to-do list, please?
I gotta get a Game Boy player for my GameCube first.
And right, we got time. You've been doing this for years, brother.
Yeah, you know,
forever.
I keep adding more games to my backlog. I'll add it. I'll get it. I'll get around to it.
Yes, you already added BMX XXX, so yeah.
My argument would be that is probably gonna follow the exact same things that happen in the movie, and is probably not going to be good.
Well, I don't even know. Like, what is it? Like a driving game? Is it like a top-down shooter? Like,
It's mostly like a side-scroller shooter, but I do see scenes where you're like driving a bike. There's some racing scenes, I guess.
which is yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny that it's like if it's a 2D side-scroller shoot 'em up, they're really the only real shooting in the movie happens like right at the end.
And even
You know
then,
how
though, that's
these-
not really. It's like just to kind of get rid of some characters.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, not that guy that we saw 2 times. Damn. Oh.
Not that guy called Ivan, and the other guy called Ivan. No. Incredible.
I think that
Like,
was another game also like in development, but it was canceled for the PS2 and such.
See, that's the wrong time. They should have canceled the Game Boy Advance game and kept the PS2 game going.
incredible. I was just looking at the kind of awards and things that it was nominated for.
It was nominated?
It had 14 nominations.
What the heck?
So
For the
it was a
Reach Round
nominee.
Award?
For the Razzies?
It could only win that one. So it was nominated for the best action adventure thriller film.
Oh.
Did not win.
Who won?
It was I don't know.
Yeah, okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
In all seriousness, it could have been anybody.
It was probably like Did GoldenEye
It was
come out? Well, what?
apparently it was the Road to Perdition, so it was the one that won.
Oh,
Yeah,
What?
that's quite interesting. It also had a nominee for best special effects somehow. Um,
Um, I mean,
think
it had some good explosions, I guess.
yeah, the practical
Samuel-
effects are pretty good, I guess.
Samuel L. Jackson was nominated for the best actor, did not win.
Huh? Like, I mean, he's not bad, but like, what?
It did.
It's only
It
enough few
did.
scenes.
It did win the Film Music Award.
Oh, now okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I'll
I
agree
can
with that
understand
one.
that.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel was nominated for an MTV Movie Award. Did not win.
Oh, what a shame.
It mainly won awards in the best stunts.
All right, I can agree with that one, I guess.
And incredibly, did not win Worst Movie of the Year for 2002. That went to Lord of the Rings.
Wait, what?
You're yanking my chain.
In 2002, the Golden Schmoes went to Lord of the Rings for the worst movie.
What?
What? That? Huh?
I'm joking.
Oh, God. This guy, this guy right here.
Oh, wonderful.
Stop yanking us with your reach around.
I can't keep. I gotta. It's the reach arounds, Callus. You know what it's like.
Now, P2, are you really going to joke around about Freddy Got Fingered being the worst movie of 2002?
Oh my god!
Oh, that came out
brings
too.
back memories as well. Wow.
Razzies 2002 awards. Freddy Got Fingered.
Back
Nice.
when Tom Green was trying to make himself as unappealing as possible. Incredible. So yeah, I think that this was a fantastic choice, personally. Definitely one that will live in the brain for a long, long time. You are welcome, Yemmy. That's all. You don't have to
Yeah.
say thank you. I get it. It's fine.
Okay.
I know you liked it. It's fine.
I think the most one of the things that I just want to mention real quick. Why did the boat at the end completely explode when he ran to the wall?
I think it's because he turned the rocket the other way around.
No. The boat with like the main guy from Anarchy 99.
Oh,
It ran to
Oh,
the
yeah.
cliff and it just exploded in this giant explosion.
That's what was when they hit a wall.
because what happens with regular boats is that when they hit a rock, they explode.
Ah, yes.
They don't get like beached or anything, or they don't just crash. All of them explode. I'm pretty sure that's scientifically accurate.
All right.
Just had to throw in one more explosion in there before the final explosion.
Yeah, we got like 20 grand left and a shit ton of TNT. Let's just put it on the boat.
Yeah, also, I thought Ahab was supposed to be like a submersible, so why wasn't it like submerged and driving around?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, why wouldn't it go down?
Yeah, Callus,
Right,
why wouldn't
okay.
it go down?
Yeah, on the
I guess
round
it was
boat.
just trying to escape first. I don't know.
I think what we're failing to remember is that this film is not good.
I thought you were about to say. I thought you were about to say his absolute cinema, and I was like, you know what, P2, that's right.
So, and I've just reminded myself of another part as well, which is his kind of like the guy that does like all the tech, like who's kind of like shoehorned at the end, and he was like, all of those guns and things I want in the car.
Mr.
And-
EQ.
Oh, and it's so painful to watch. And like I'm one of these people that when it comes to like cringe, it's like a physical reaction for me. So like I can't do it. And this guy just like adds it in, especially with like the see-through binoculars, like like the ones that like to see through the wall. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So we're just gonna ogle at this woman, and she's happy about that. Okay.
How did those binoculars get like such crystal clear pictures through a brick wall
I mean,
in
obviously,
full color? And
it's the FBI, bro. The NSA. They've created these incredible things. So when it then comes to wondering why the submarine explodes whilst going underwater, you don't need to worry about it.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, because that rocket, they showed it off in the testing chamber, right? It doesn't really explode like an explosion. It just kind of releases the gas, right?
Yeah.
There is an impact for sure. So like that's the main thing is like so the submarine goes underwater essentially and it blows up. Like the whole thing just implodes underwater. I was kind of like if this was not absolute cinema, if this was just a regular movie film, the 3 missiles would have exploded, but the submarine would have still been fine. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wonderful.
Why?
Just how bad it is.
Well, that scene was like painful because like he's just standing there just trying to figure out what to do and he's just struggling and
oh, you know what, Callus?
Yeah,
that was the part of the movie where I was like, this makes sense. Vin Diesel has no clue what to do with a hard drive in a fucking computer.
That scene went on for like forever. It seems like
too long.
Chat. What do I do? Chat. Tell me what to do. Yeah, I was like, look, dude, just like rip the hard drive out. Like, is it really that difficult?
Like he closed the lid and then did something else with the missiles and then opened the lid back up and then went back to it. It's like, oh my god, are you serious?
He stared at the missiles a long time before turning one of them upside down. Like it felt like a good like 30 seconds of movie time went past that, just showing quick glances of him like just confused and worried and looking at the rockets.
I think what I've got kind of like some problems with is why he just didn't let the jets shoot it.
Because that would have killed more people because they would have exploded
hold
above
on.
ground.
But let's go through what Samuel L. Jackson's character stated, which is better 1 than 10, right?
Yeah.
So he said it's better for 1 city to go than 10 across the world, right? He then orders the jets to not shoot for 1 person.
Well,
I guess he had faith in Vin that he would get the job done and stop the thing. I guess I don't know.
And I also want to just kind of highlight a point that made me laugh more than I thought it was going to, which is in Prague, there's a bridge. So I don't know if either of you know or have been or whatever, but there's a bridge that leads you into what is called the Old Town. And it's kind of like very historic, like a very, very old bridge. And along the bridge are like scattered several statues of kind of like townspeople and stuff, but they look kind of like regal and serious and stuff like that. So if you ever go there, it's a very cool place to go and visit anyway. And I just love the fact that in the scenes where he's trying to protect the world, and every now and again there's like a cutaway shot to the statue looking down.
Yes.
Almost like the statue's like, oh, we're watching you, son. Come on, boy, you got it.
They do a close up of the one that's like Christ, like holding the cross or whatever, and he's just looking up, and I'm like, yeah, he's definitely praying, like we're fucked, like
we are praying.
It's over.
There were way too many shots of just like people living their lives and like the city shots and like, oh, this is what's at stake here, and like
yeah, they
this
had
is
to yank
what
your
everyone's about to
chains.
do.
They had to be like, oh, look at the child. Wouldn't it be sad if the child silent nighted? Oh,
If she sang Silent Night, why? Incredible.
yeah. You know what? That's great. Incredible. That's a great word. Incredible. XXX. Incredible.
Because it gives you whatever
Amazing.
context you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's X-credible.
Credible. Yeah. Probably shouldn't have named this movie XXX. I know that, like,
I mean,
I know it was kind of like a newer concept in the 90s, but it was already around.
well, imagine now that Yemmy, somebody's come to you. Gibbons has come to you and has gone, look, we need you to rename this film.
Yeah. Triple P.
What are you calling it? Oh, yeah, The Reach Around.
Just call it like Xander Cage.
Just, like, kind of like James Bond in
Well,
the exact same way.
Well, I think they were going for more of a James Bond thing because 007,
Yeah, 007,
Triple X,
yeah.
you know, like that. I think that's what they were going for. But I feel like Xander Cage is just like a better, like I think it's just a better movie, like, or a better title for the movie. Like just Xander Cage. Everyone goes, "Whoa, Xander Cage! That sounds cool."
That sounds cool.
Or they could have called it like Absolute Cinema, the movie. Like
Everything you could want in an action film.
Yeah,
Two.
this is Mission Bond.
This is Xander Bond.
Yes.
No relation.
And they tried so hard to turn this into a franchise.
Oh,
I mean, it was only 3 years later that came out with a sequel without Ice Cube.
and
Which it's interesting that Vin Diesel didn't want to come back for it.
well, Fast and Furious is probably more lucrative than XXX.
Yeah, but he wasn't. He only had made one by that point. It wasn't a franchise either.
Oh,
Or maybe he looked at it and gone, "This is so rubbish. I'm gonna go and do Fast and Furious instead."
Wait, when did the second Fast and Furious Too Fast come out?
well, he wasn't even in Too Fast.
But that's true. Yeah, he didn't come back for that one either. And he wasn't in Tokyo Drift either.
Well, I'm guessing both these movies bombed. Okay, I'll guess the second movie bombed. I'm sure the first movie was fine, but the second movie probably bombed. And then they were like, "Well, Vin, this is your agent speaking. You gotta do something else." And then he was like, "Oh, let's get back to Fast and Furious." And that's when he had the cameo in Tokyo Drift, and then was starred in every movie. This is just me spitballing. You know.
It's
It's a theory. It's just a theory, allegedly in Minecraft.
Okay, so the budget was like 70 million, and North America it made 142 million, and like 277 worldwide.
Well, what about the second movie?
Second movie? Let's find out.
Because I said the first movie was probably fine, but the second movie was probably the one that bombed. And then throughout like the nostalgia craze, they were like, "Let's bring Xander back," and that's when 2017 rolled around and people didn't care.
Holy crap! Why? How was the budget 113 million for the second one?
Oh, got to go bigger and
they
better.
made like triple money from the first one.
So worldwide, it only made back 71 million.
Yeah. See, who was right? Who was right? Come on. Come on.
Incredible.
Shall we see what the third movie was?
Let's find out.
All right. Drum roll, please.
Return of Xander Cage, 2017. That was quite a long time to wait.
Well, he had the return. One more mission.
All right, budget for this one, 85 million.
Oh, okay. So not as much as the second.
And worldwide, and made 346 million. Wow.
Wait, 300? Wait, what?
Okay, so North America only made 44 million, so it bombed in North America.
Okay.
But worldwide, it made 346.
I'm guessing. Do they go to Hong Kong or China in the third movie?
I don't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm.
Oh, you know what? I see one screenshot and I see some Chinese text in the back, so probably.
Okay, yeah. So it made a lot of money in China.
Yeah.
Which is the way that Transformers win. It's the way that a lot of big time movies win.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense because Donnie Yen is in it, and I love Donnie Yen.
So yeah, they
He's
centered
like
the third
Chinese
movie around China. So that's why it made so much money. Didn't make a lot of money here because no one cares about Xander Cage. But in China, they're like, "Oh fuck, this is absolute cinema," and there you go.
This is so real.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually not even a joke. Like the Chinese market for movies right now it's been hot for quite some time, and like that's why Transformers they like half the movie of like the fourth one is like in China, Pacific Rim. There's a whole sequence where they're in China, and then the second movie is like in China as well. Like it's a big market. It's a big market out there, and it makes money as you see. It only made 44 million here, but made 300 across the seas. Like that's crazy.
That seems to be the way to go. If you've got an absolutely crumbling franchise, just film it in China.
Yeah, just go to China. When's the next Hotel Transylvania going to be in China?
Strike 5.
Yeah, Shrek 5. They go to fairy tale China. They go to mythological China. Like they fight like ancient dragons and shit.
There we go.
Wukong. Yeah. Shrek meets Wukong, and they go on a magical
Shrek
adventure.
meets the Monkey King.
Yeah. That's Wukong.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Perfect. Played by Jackie Chan.
DreamWorks, we're waiting for the check. Well, where do we
All
go
right,
from here? My goodness.
I know where we go from here. What is everyone's favorite stunt in this movie?
Okay, so for me, it's got to be the dirt bike jump through the fence
In the beginning?
in the beginning. I think somehow the opening kind of sets it up. Like Rammstein, I was like, oh my god, yes, here we go. I'm ready for this. This is sick. We've got the Corvette jump with a bit of drowning pool. Let the bodies hit the floor. I'm like, oh my god, yes. Then we go to the Colombian like cocaine plant, and I'm like, oh my god, this is okay. It's bad. So like, I think that's kind of like the last moment where I was like, oh, there's any semblance of like coolness here that isn't like horrendously cliched. But obviously I was more like interested in the fact that I'm looking at the guy riding the bike and I'm like, you do not look like Vin Diesel at all. And then the bit where like he kind of like drives towards the camera, they try to blur it.
I did notice that
people
too.
go, oh, it's not, it's Vin. I swear it's Vin. Don't worry about it. It is Vin. Yeah, so I think that was it for me, where he goes over the barn and it explodes. It was a close second.
Man, Cal, that's a tough question. My favorite stunt.
That was a huge explosion when he was going over the barn, and like that actually looked really cool because he was so close to the explosion. The stuntman, like I don't know if he was actually there, how it was shot, but man, that was a crazy one.
Look, the Oscars are adding in a stunt category in like 2026. So this movie could, maybe be nominated for an Oscar. That's a joke.
I think me and Carlos just went into like instant panic. We were like, oh no. Oh no, it's broken in.
I like how none of us laughed except when he said it's a joke.
He was like, guys, I swear I don't actually like it, I swear.
The favorite stunt. Probably the kickflip that happens in the party. Probably my favorite stunt. No, I don't even I don't know.
There's a lot to choose from. Jumping out of planes, snowboarding, avalanche.
I did like when the snowmobile crashed through the window, but I thought he was going to drive through the entire building and come out the other side. He didn't, and I was like disappointed. Yeah. I was like, you could have just drove straight through that thing. I don't know why you stopped. Favorite stunt? Probably the terrible CGI on the avalanche was my favorite stunt. Because that was like, no, I don't know.
That's the scene right there where I was like, oh man, I missed the XXx games. I should play one. I should play another one.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough question. Callus, what's your favorite?
My favorite.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
My favorite stunt was when the door was closing and they had to pull him out really fast. That was a great stunt.
I heard he did his own stunt.
How did he get stuck? Like, what was he waiting for?
He had to confirm the kill.
So unnecessary. Could have left
like,
any
pull
time.
him out. Why couldn't he just
probably easy to go forwards, right?
Yeah, he could have just walked out of there. Yeah. I told you, Cal. It's a tough question.
I guess I would go with like him jumping over the barn, and because just that explosion looked crazy. I'll just say that one.
Yeah. I guess to be 100% honest, I guess the car jump being driven off of the bridge was pretty cool. Why it needed so many angles of it falling is beyond me, but it was a pretty cool stunt to see him jump off the car and parachute down. But yeah, like the scene was extended for like 5 minutes because of how many different angles they had of that thing. Like, Jesus Christ.
And it was so cool that he had to do it again for Fast 5.
Yeah. I think it's kind of crazy because like a movie called Harold and Maude, I think came out around the same time, and they had one car, they had one take, and that was like a 2-second scene. Like the car crashes into the gorge, and like just comparing that to this movie with like 5 different angles, repeating angles, repeating sections of the fall, repeating sections of him opening up his parachute. It's just like,
but it had to time with the music.
you know what, P2, you're right. It was absolute cinema, and I should just appreciate what I'm watching.
Right, let's give this movie the Oscar it deserves, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Legacy. They should add a legacy Oscar, and this will be the first one. Yeah.
A film that has aged well, Oscar.
Hey, Kellen, the rich around Oscars.
I don't know. I don't know if it can win that one, P2.
No, well, I could dream.
A movie that has stood the test of time and stayed absolute cinema.
A movie that happened.
Yes. They had the popular movie Oscar for 1 year for Black Panther. They honestly should have just kept that around, because movies like this could possibly win Academy Awards.
Probably a good idea that doesn't happen.
Well, I don't know. A lot of people were angry that
It's gonna lose credibility hard though.
well, I mean, but it's so on the nose. It's like, here's the popular movies. Like here's the ones, like Minecraft movie could win an Oscar because it's a popular movie, right?
I guess.
Just
yeah.
The
But then
Mario
the thing
movie
is,
could have won an Oscar last year or 2 years ago.
We all know why things that when it comes down to like a public vote, we get names like Boaty McBoatface. It's like the public are not to be trusted. You know?
Here's your nominees for popular movies. Xander Cage, The Return of Xander Cage, 2017.
Triple X 2.
All three of the Triple X movies, and then Mission Impossible 2.
And now we're going to vote for the most popular scene. And the nominees are Xander Cage kissing scene.
Yes. Xander Cage, but not actually Xander Cage jumping over a barn.
Yeah, a guy that is supposed to look like Xander Cage jumping over barn.
And then random, like the fifth one is like an actual serious one, like plane stunt from Mission Impossible 8.
Yeah, like actual pilot doing a barrel roll. Vin Diesel's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Wow.
Well,
Like
boys.
you said, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Memorable? No. Interesting? Yes.
Somewhat entertaining.
I'm looking forward to your rating.
All I'm saying is, thank goodness Ray and Tay aren't here, because I think they would have both agreed like this was absolute ass.
Oh, no, it is. It's a capital SS.
Well, yes. At this point, I don't even know if they're gonna watch the movie. Like they'll probably skirt around it. They'll be like, "Oh, I forgot. Oh no."
Yeah, I forgot. No, you should make them.
Well, I mean,
just so they have to.
I mean, I can't make them, but at the same time, they're supposed to watch every movie. So you know.
Yeah, my ratings.
It's part of their contract, right?
Won't someone think of my ratings?
Yeah.
My charts. What do we call them again?
The
My
charts.
My Film Freakz analyst.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Well, I guess my last comment here is, P2, you had a great track record.
Had past tense.
Yeah. I mean,
but I will give you credit. This was a very fun conversation.
I think it had to have that thing. I think Parasite last time was so intense and so like layered. It was nice to do something quite literally polar opposite.
Right.
Life's about balance, man.
Yes, just like Thanos taught me.
Yeah,
and
this should be.
This will give P2 a chance to come back next time with a nice reach around. Woo us again.
Yeah, when until I do the Return of Xander Cage, then you're gonna be like, "Nah, we're never asking this guy again."
Well, it does beg the question, P2. Do you have another recommendation for us?
I do actually. I have. Well, it depends on the themes that you want to go. I have two. I have one which for me is part of a franchise, and one that I would say is probably one of the like greatest franchises I've ever seen. And I don't know if a lot of people
Whoa.
would agree with me on that one.
Fast and
Purely
Furious?
because, like I said, like you'll start to notice that a lot of my film choices are from when I was younger. I don't tend to watch much stuff now. So it's more of a case of, for me, it holds kind of a place in my heart for where I was in those days, if you got what I mean. So I've got that option, but then I've got an option where it's more of like a horror slash thriller, depending on what you'd rather look at.
P2, I don't know what Cal's is about to say, but I say go with your heart. Okay, go with your heart.
Okay.
But shouldn't we
Okay.
talk about that after?
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah. Okay, so I'll go with my heart, and I'll say that the choice that I would offer is the Bourne Identity.
Oh, okay. See now. Okay, so
Oh.
I can. That's one that I can get
Okay.
behind there.
All right, yeah.
Because I think the Bourne trilogy is one of the greatest sets of films. They're really cool. I really enjoyed them. They have that kind of edge of like, oh, what the heck is going on? But good enough to keep you entertained.
That's a good choice.
So-
I haven't seen them in forever, and yeah, I really like them. What do you
Good-
think of
good-
the fourth one, though?
I did not watch it because I'm a strong believer of 3 is more than enough. So usually if it goes past that, it's probably not going to go well. Case in point would be like I was watching some Yemmy the Ferret content earlier.
Oh yeah. After the
regarding,
third podcast episode, you know.
regarding Borderlands, for example, which was past tense one of my favorite franchises ever. After technically what would have been the fourth in the line, was more than enough for me. So I think no, I didn't watch number 4. 1 to 3 belong. You know, they're good. Let's keep them where they are. Sometimes we don't need to do more than is necessary. So I haven't seen that one myself.
Yeah, I mean, you look at any of the franchises that have gone past the number 3, Jurassic Park, and
Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Furious. I mean, I guess Mission Impossible is kind of like the outlier here because I think a lot of the Mission Impossible movies after the third movie get a lot like progressively better. I don't know if Cal's agrees. Cal's is a big MI head.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. Other franchises like like think of the ones that are only 3 movies, like Back to the Future, classics, like classic 3 trilogy there. The original 3 Star Wars movies, classics, hold up. The original 3 the Dollars trilogy, the Fistful of Dollars, Good, the Bad, the Ugly, etc. Classic trilogies. But then you get that fourth one, like Shrek the fourth movie, Shrek Forever After, ass. Like, you get Hotel Transylvania 4. You get there's so many movies that are like, well, we should definitely make another one because this was so successful and popular back in the day. But it's like, no, we could stop here. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree on that entirely. But like I said, if you want my other recommendation, depending on where you want to go, it was a film called The Bone Collector. It's a Denzel Washington movie.
Are you sure that's not another XXX movie, The Bone Collector?
You've just entered the Bone Zone. Oh no, I said it again!
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
P2, you can keep that in your back pocket for when you're on the podcast a 4th time.
Oh my days!
But
What a pleasure.
P2, if you come back for a 4th time, that'll be more than 3, and it might be the worst time that you're on the podcast.
Oh my god! I can't. I'm ruining my own system.
All right, let's get into our final thoughts and ratings. P2, as the guest of honor.
Wait. One final word. Just want to throw in a little. Like the one thing I do remember from this movie, from hearing about it 20 years ago, is that the one stuntman that was like for one of the final scenes when he was like in the parachute on the boat and like he tried to go down the wire just before he hit the bridge. You know that scene?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The stuntman that originally did that, sadly, there was an accident. He hit the bridge. He passed away. So, moment of silence for that stuntman.
What?
Yeah. And
Wow.
this is why like a lot of scenes look like CG, or like I noticed like it did kind of look like a dummy going down the wire, and the reason why is because a stuntman did lose his life doing that stunt. So
Oh my days. Well, I did not know that. I'm gonna feel really bad giving my rating now.
No, don't. Yeah, sorry to ruin the mood just now, but
No, good fact.
had to throw that information out there. But yeah, please continue with the rating.
Yes,
Okay.
P2, our king.
Okay, so you do ratings out of 5, correct?
Yeah, if you want, I mean, if you want to do it out of 3 Ps, you can also do that if you want to.
Okay.
No,
okay.
don't do
No, Callus is like my system. Okay, so a 2002 film. I think watching it over 20 years later most certainly shows itself to be such a thing. I think if you're looking for a hilarious, I don't want to think for like the next 90 minutes. I want a little bit of hilarious, stereotypical, cliched action thriller where I don't have to think, I don't need to worry about anything. There's probably other films out there. But I would say overall, I'm giving this a 2 out of 5.
Oh,
Wow.
Because I think the reason why I'm giving it a 2 is that there are certain things that were done well, like the stunts overall were really good. You know, you got to remember that like if this was done modern day, it wouldn't have met as much because the audience just wouldn't connect with it. So I think it is definitely a product of its time. And that is why it's getting a 2 instead of a 1. But I think in terms of a film, in terms of pop culture, that if you've seen it, you'll be able to kind of have that funny moment with somebody else. I think that's why it's gotta have its place, right? So yeah, an overall 2 out of 5 for me.
wow. Okay, so now I don't even feel that bad because, I mean, I'll just come around and say it. I gave it a 1.5.
Okay.
So like, I mean, as much as I like was in pain while watching this movie, it had its moments where I was like laughing. It had its really creepy, weird moments too, but there was some line delivery that I found very hilarious. Like they're trying to be so serious, and the Vin Diesel's just like "boom goes the dynamite" or whatever, and it's just funny. It's that cringe funny, and that doesn't make it a good movie, but it does make it something that I was able to get a good laugh at. A little bit boring at times. Had a great soundtrack, which gives it 1 star, and I give it an extra half star for the stunts. But then it loses like a whole star for the avalanche and a whole star for the misogynistic, like crazy misogynistic stuff going on. And then also it lost a half star for Vin Diesel's kissing. So it kind of
Only half a star?
Yeah. Well, because it was only like
way more.
5 seconds of screen time in general. So
It was 5 seconds too much.
that 5.5. Yeah.
See, yes.
So yeah, I give this 1.5 X's out of 5. So.
All right. Wow, I can't believe my rating is going to be the highest. But yeah, like I'm the type of person that enjoys like cheesy 90s movies. Like even knowing that they're bad, I do see some entertainment value out of them, and that's what I got out of this movie. I remember seeing it as a teenager. Like I really enjoyed it. You know, I loved the action scenes. It was like, you know, it's just a popcorn flick for me. It's exactly what it was. But yeah, seeing it now, seeing the bad acting, the bad story, just like the cheesiness, the horrible decisions that. How in the hell was XXX able to, like, after being told to go home a second time, he was able to come back and like round up the entire local government and like lead them to do this mission? Like how did that happen? Like, I don't know. Anyways. But it does have some entertaining action scenes and cool stunts and big explosions. You know, it is entertaining in that way. But I don't know if I would ever watch it again. There was a reason why I hadn't watched it in 20 years, and now I know why. It's because everything else was so bad. But overall, I would have to give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah, next time they're on the podcast, we'll see what Tay and Ray have to say. And I will remind them in the Discord to give us their thoughts, at least. So that might kick them in the ass. Be like, oh, we do have to watch the movie. God, shit.
Damn it.
Yeah, they're going to have to watch 2 movies for next one.
So now it's the part of the podcast where we do some small recommendations, not full recommendations for like a movie or anything like that, but it could be anything. It could be TV show, movie, maybe music that you're listening to, maybe just some life advice. P2, do you have anything small that you'd like to recommend to the audience?
Yes, definitely. Well, because of my work at the moment, I was off this week, so that's when usually I get to cram some entertainment in there. I would say, in terms of things that you're looking to watch, if you have a Netflix account, I would highly recommend The Gentleman, which is a Guy Ritchie TV series, all centered around kind of drug barons and stuff, based in the UK. The classic kind of gangster movie with a quite a cool, interesting twist. I would recommend that.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
The Gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Is it very British?
It's incredibly British. It's centered on our main character is a general in the army, or a captain. He then is told that his father is passing, and his father is the Duke in one of the English estates. Upon him taking over, now historically, it's the firstborn child would be the one to precede, but in this situation, he's the secondborn, and the estate is passed down to him. His older brother is a drug addict, bit of a loose cannon, someone to not be, wholly reliable. And then it comes to find out that his father had made deals with some kind of drug organization for them to use their land in order to create their product. And it kind of goes along almost like him trying to rectify all of the situations, and somehow almost slapsticky getting into worse situations as the series goes on. But it has a lot of very classical, characters in there, people that you most certainly recognize, like Ray Winstone. You'll see like Peter Serafinowicz. You've got Vin Jones, who are like, these are all people who are classically used in kind of gangster role movies, especially done by Guy Ritchie as well. So I would highly recommend it if you're looking for a bit that's, it's got a little bit of edge to it in terms of like death and gore a little bit in there, like your classic kind of beat 'em up movie type things, a little bit of edge, drama, thriller, and I would highly recommend.
It does sound interesting. I'll have to add it to my list.
This is you said this is a Guy Ritchie film?
It's a Guy Ritchie TV series.
Oh, it's a TV series.
What's that?
Oh, I see. Okay.
That is it. And so he's like the one who's created like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and
Snatch.
And Snatch. Yep. So he's created this. So when we first started watching it, thinking it was another film, it's actually a TV series instead.
Because he also made a movie called The Gentleman in 2019.
Yes. So this is whether it's a spin-off of that, I'm not entirely sure, but it is most certainly. It kind of sets it up from episode 1. So if you haven't seen it, I would recommend go down that route.
I definitely need to watch this. I'm a big Guy Ritchie fan.
Nice. All right. Good recommendation. There we go.
Thank you.
So I recently saw a movie by the same directors who did
Talk to Me?
Yes, Talk to Me. Thank you. my brain melted. And they put out a movie called Bring Her Back, which just released this past week. And like, I went to the theater yesterday, and there was like no one there. And the people that I went with were like, "Oh, is it like a bad movie? No one's here." And I'm like, "No. The good movies are the ones that have no audience, right?" And I was right, because Bring Her Back is Talk to Me is already like a pretty disturbing like horror, movie. And that is one that I've talked about a couple times where it's like really like it actually affected me. It had my heart racing and whatever. And Bring Her Back was also another one that just it had this like sense of unease and unnerve throughout the entire movie, and it just like all culminated in just like this just disgusting, heinous like. It was really good. That's all I'm trying to say. It was really good. I would recommend going to see it if you want to. It's just if you want like a really good modern horror movie made by the same people who did Talk to Me, they have a great track record. Then this would be the next one to definitely check out, because it like, even though I didn't like barf during the movie like they were saying people were barfing during screenings, it definitely made me feel like sick to my stomach at times, and it definitely has some very disturbing imagery. It like it started off in a place that I wasn't expecting, and then it just kind of like spiraled from there. Like it kept going into a more deeper, darker place, and yeah, it was very, very good. Just had a bit of like a criticism about the end of the movie, which I won't expose here, but that's the only thing was really the end of the movie was the only thing that I thought had a bit of a hump. But other than that, it was just an excellent experience. Recommend that one. Bring her back in theaters now. Not sponsored.
All right. Bad recommendation, not for me. Boo. Anyways, no, I'm kidding. I'm just not a horror fan. So my recommendation would be to go watch the newest Mission Impossible in theaters while it's still in theaters. It is a great movie-going experience. It is awesome. It's like if you're a Mission Impossible fan, this is like a great stand-up, a great final mission, the final reckoning. And it was a pretty good conclusion considering I didn't really like Dead Reckoning Part 1 too much. But they fixed all the wrongs with that one, and with this one, it's awesome. It's really good. It's one of the best Mission Impossibles, probably. And if you happen to be late to the theater, don't worry. If you're like 30 minutes late to this movie, do not worry, because there is some very weird choices with like the first 30 to 45 minutes of they're like rehashing the story, and they're like just nonsense going on. And I was very worried at first that it was just not going to be a great movie, but yeah, I feel like at the 45-minute mark is like when the real Mission Impossible starts, and that's when the good stuff really gets going. And it's like a 3-hour movie.
Wow. Okay. So 45 minutes of the 3 hours is just re-going over like everything that happened in part 1.
I mean, no, there's new stuff going on, but there's like just nonsense. I don't know. It's hard to explain. They go back and forth between just like new stuff happening and like rehashing past stuff. It's really weird.
Huh. I do plan on seeing it in theaters. I was planning on taking my dad to go see it with me on Father's Day, so hopefully it's still around then. Should be.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I would say so.
Well, all right, folks. It is time for a movie recommendation from me, Yemmy the Ferret. Now, Callus did just say that he is not a fan of horror movies.
Right.
And, like, I mean, look, Ray and Tay aren't here. Callus, do you want me to continue the horror trend, or should I just go 180? Should I just do something different?
I mean, you can continue it if you want. It's up to you. Don't let me guide your judgment.
You see, because the thing, like, I feel like I'm Tay right now because I don't have a real firm grasp on what I want to recommend, and I feel like if I recommend the movie that I pulled up earlier, we're all gonna like either hate it or just not be entertained by it. So I'm gonna do the 180. I'm not gonna continue the horror trend, and I'm going to recommend a movie that I should have watched a long time ago, and that is hold on, let me pull it up here so I have all the information. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly from 1966. Hey. The classic spaghetti western epic.
Yeah.
Directed by Sergio Leone. And a short synopsis is, while the Civil War rages on between the Union and the Confederacy, 3 men, a quiet loner, a ruthless hitman, and a Mexican bandit, comb the American Southwest in search of a strong box containing $200,000 in stolen gold. And this, of course, stars Clint Eastwood, Eli Wallach, Lee Van Cleef, and many more. So, like I said, like this is a movie that I should have watched this movie so long ago at this point, but I never got around to it.
So you haven't seen it before?
I have not seen this one, and
wow.
And when P2 recommended The Good, the Bad, the Weird, I was like, oh crap, I haven't seen The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Like, am I not going to get what's going on?
I'm not going to get the references.
But I really enjoyed that one, and I mean, like, why not watch the real thing? So, yeah, Good, the Bad, the Ugly, from 1966. I have high expectations going into this one.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood still making movies at 95 years old to this day.
That's right.
Incredible.
I will also say what my other recommendation was going to be.
You were going to reveal it?
I'm going to reveal it right now because I don't think I'm ever going to It was Abraham
Alright.
Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh.
And the only reason that I was going to recommend it was, one, I haven't seen it since came out in like 2011. Haven't seen it since then. And two, I read the book that it was based on last year. So, I mean, maybe in the future I would recommend it, but I remember it being like very mediocre. And I was like, well, after this movie, I don't know if we want to watch something that's like possibly worse. So let's just do something that is a knock out of the park, you know.
I feel like that's the type of horror movie that I would be okay watching. It's just the stuff that's, if it's like disturbing and like overly gory just for the sake of goriness, that's when I'm like, that's what I don't like too much.
This down for Halloween. Okay, I know what to make Callus queasy about. So yeah, if you don't want to be spoiled, or if you want to join the conversation for the good, the bad, and the ugly, make sure you watch that before the next episode airs in 2 weeks. These episodes come out every 2 weeks. I forgot to promote the last episode, so I got to go back and do that. Yeah, usually they come out every 2 weeks. Also, if you want to recommend a movie once again, much like P2 did right here, you can send us an email at ff.filmfreaks@gmail.com, or comment in the Discord, or comment on the latest episode of the podcast. We always appreciate that. We have a good amount now. Like we got a new income of movies, and we'll see what gets chosen next. But not next, because after usually we do the fan vote on Tay's episode. We will not be doing a fan vote this next week because episode 150 is coming up, and we will be doing another trilogy conversation, and we'll reveal what those movies are, you know, when Ray's episode comes around. So stay tuned for that. So no fan vote this next coming set of recommendations, FYI. And thank you to PlayerTwoP2, for joining the podcast. Triple P, we'll call him Triple P.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. Thank you so much for dealing with our hate for XXx. Really appreciate it.
I rated higher than Panda Page.
Well, it was nice to recapture, though. You got to also give me credit that it was 2 years ago that I recommended it. Okay. So yeah, maybe I should change my name to P3.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. The middle P capitalized.
Yeah, they call me PPP. So no, I thank you both for having me on yet again. It's always a blast to come in and talk about films with you guys, and congratulations on 150 episodes incoming. That's incredible.
We're old. We're getting old. 5-year-old podcast, almost 6 years now. It's crazy.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Also, if you want to check out P2, he does.
I don't really exist anymore.
He doesn't do anything. But if you want to like add him, like mention him on the Discord and say like, "Hey P2, how you doing?" Like he would appreciate that.
I exist. I exist in Yemmy's Discord. I'm part of the Ferret Nation. But no, yeah, I don't really tend to do. Like I said, I make random TikToks and I play Pokemon in real life. So it's like they're my go-to. So if you're ever at a random tournament, I might see you there, I guess. But no, I would always say to support the people of this podcast, then come to try and find my long dead channel.
Yes, remember P2 News or P News or what it was called?
P2P News, yes sir.
P News, yes.
Bring it back, I say.
Bring it back.
Make it reach around.
We need it now more than ever.
Yeah, P2P News to reach around. Well, you didn't know you need it.
P2P News, the return of
Panda
Page.
Triple P.
Well, all right, folks. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We really appreciate that. If you want to slap a like on it on YouTube and or give it a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we very much appreciate that as well. And for the final time this episode, I am Yemmy the Ferret. I've been here with
Secret Agent Callus.
And PlayerTwoP2. Triple P.
And this has been another episode of the Film Freaks Podcast. Thank you so much. So long.
Bye, everyone.
two say goodbye.
Bye.